Okay, last week, remember the halakha and the yechave daat class? Last week? Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam she'akol niyah b'velo. Amen. Yes, Rohi. Last week we said the beracha should be shaber oyevim umachniya zedim, and now we're going to go on to al hatzadikim ve'al hasidim. And so the question is, Siman Het? No, not Siman Het. It's Minid. Here, Siman Tet. B'tfilat Shemona Esrei, in the Amidah, B'berkat al hatzadikim ve'al hasidim, when we bless the righteous, האם יש לומר ועל זקניהם, כפי הנוסח בכמה סידורים? Should we add the words ועל זקניהם? So let's read the beracha. על הצדיקים ועל החסידים ועל שארית עמך בית ישראל. ועל זקניהם is in parentheses in most סידורים. In the blue one it is. ועל פלטת בית סופריהם. So the question is, should we say ועל זקניהם or should we not say ועל זקניהם? So we're going to do the same thing as last week. We're going to take a vote. על הצדיקים ועל החסידים ועל שארית עמך בית ישראל ועל.
So all of this group, it can be anybody.
Yeah, so al tzadikim are tzadikim, righteous people. Hasidim are pious people. She'erit amecha bet Israel. It seems like everybody else. We have English. She'erit amecha bet Israel. That's the question. Because if you look in the Sidur, ve'al ziknehem is in parentheses. In the blue Sidur, I just checked the blue Sidur.
So what is it between?
Yeah, ve'al pilata. Wow, maybe the new version, because I just checked the blue Sidur this morning and it had in parentheses. Get another one. Let's see if it's different.
Isn't it? Moshe is committed by Hashem and Israel and as Kedim. It's like above everybody.
Yeah, the Zikanim are the Sanhedrin, basically. The Zikanim, the elders. So the question is, why take them out? Okay, good question. First question is, what do you say? This is the first question. What do you say? Yari, what do you say? Ba'al ziknehim? In that Sidur, is it in parentheses? Where's that English Sidur we have that? It's not.
Are you talking about the
Orot one, or whatever. I just checked the blue Sidur this morning and it was in parentheses.
Can you repeat the question?
Yeah. In the blessing in the Amidah for the righteous. Last week we talked about cursing the bad. Now we're talking about blessing the good. Allah Sadikim for the Sadikim. Ve'ala Hasidim. Ve'al She'erit Amecha Bet Israel. Ve'al She'erit Amecha Bet Israel is everyone else. She'erit is like a remainder. Everyone else remaining. Ve'al Ziknehem, and on the elders. Ve'al Pilatat Besofnehem. And so, should we say Ve'al Ziknehem? Let's get a translation. You guys have English down there? We have, that's the question. Before we get the question. What do you got there, Itai? This one is in parentheses? Okay, here it's in parentheses. In a lot of Sidurim, it's in parentheses. On the righteous, on the pious, Ve'al she'erit amecha is on the remnant of your people, on the remaining people. Ve'al ziknehem in brackets, on the elders. Ve'al piletat bet sofnehem, and on the remnant of their Torah academies. All these people, more people. Ve'al gerei hatzedek, on the righteous converts. Ve'aleinu, and on us. All these different groups should all be blessed. That's what we say every single day, 3 times a day in our Amidah. The question is, should we say Ve'al ziknehem or not? So does everyone here say the words Ve'al ziknehem? Does you say Ve'al ziknehem? We have one person doesn't say. In Seattle, they say? They say. Ita b'tosefta. In parentheses or regular? Syrians don't do parentheses. Whether they're doing it, and it's their way, and they don't care about any other way. It's like we're not adding parentheses for other congregations. Okay, Ita b'tosefta. The convert thing is out in the Syrian book. I wouldn't be surprised. Ral gerei hatzedek ve'aleinu. Chas v'shalom. If you take out the converts, we're all gone. There's no to be Akiva. There's no to be Meir Ba'alanis. There's no David HaMelech. Ita v'tosefta. Yeah, how do they say that? No Avraham Avinu, no nobody. Ita v'tosefta. Here's the answer, guys. It says in the Tosefta Berachot and the Gemara Yerushalmi. So we have Talmud Yerushalmi. It says as follows: Shemone Esre Berachot, 18 blessings. She'amru Hachamim b'tfilah. Keneged Shemone Esre Azkarot shebemizbot Havu Lashem b'nei Elim. Havu Lashem b'nei Elim. Havu Lashem kabod v'aos. Havu Lashem kabod. 18 times. Each one is for one of the blessings of the Amidah. The Cholel Sheminim b'Shel Zedim. This is last week's. Minim, people who don't believe, are part of the Zedim, which is another source. Yerushalmi says you should say Zedim. B'Shel Zekenim v'Gerim b'Miftach hatzadikim. You include, says the Yerushalmi, Zekenim, elders, and Gerim, converts, in the Sadikim blessing, says the Gemara Yerushalmi. Before us, we're last. In Gemara Megillah, we say, this is now, we're moving over, that was Yerushalmi, now Talmud Bavli. Talmud Bavli says, V'cholel gareh hasedek im hatzadikim. You have to bless the righteous converts when you bless the tzadikim. How do you know this? Why? Why is converts in this blessing of tzadikim? Are all converts tzadikim? And so the answer is, Shne'emad, Mepene sebat takum v'hadata pene zaken. How do you know that you have to stand up for a rabbi when he walks in the room? Or honor a rabbi? Pasuk says, "Mepene sebat takum v'hadata pene zaken." What does this mean? Literally, "Mepene sebat takum," for an old person, you have to stand up. V'hadata pene zaken, and you have to honor the face of an older. Why does it say older twice? Remember? Mordechai is always on the ball. Why does it say it twice in the pasuk? Mipnei sebat zaken, v'hadata pnei zaken. Mipnei sebat takum, v'hadata pnei zaken. Look at Rashi over there. It's Gemara. Also, Gemara says one of them is not age. One of them is not old age. V'Avraham zaken, v'Hamelech David zaken. The King David was old. How old did he live? 70. That's not old. Must be zikena is not age. It's chokhmah. It's wisdom. So zaken. So mipnei sebat takum. If you ask 99 out of 100 Jews that know that, they would say, tell the person which one of the pasuk is talking about the old man. Mipnei sebat takum v'hadata pnei zaken. I think they all say, oh, the zaken is the old man. No, it's the opposite. Seba is the old man and the old lady. Zaken is the wise person. Doesn't matter how old they are. It's a hacham. What is the next pasuk? Right after this pasuk, ger. You have to honor a ger. And so therefore it says, "Mipnei sebat takum v'hadata pnei zaken v'yareta me'elecha ani Adonai v'chiyagur itechem ger." It says right next, ger. And so the three people are right next to each other in the Torah: the old man, the rabbi, and the ger. And so we have to bless them all at the same time. Just copy what Hashem did. That's what we do. That's what the Gemara Megillah says. That's why, Roy, trivia question of the day. Ask someone, why are we blessing the ger in the tzadikim blessing? That's the answer. Because Hashem does it in His Torah. All three groups are together, so to us, all three groups are together. Okay? The Maharsha says, Shemichum shebirkat al tzadikim maskir zeknei tzadikim, because we mention the elders and the rabbis, as it says, "V'aziknei amecha bet Yisrael." The Maharsha says, because we say zikenim in the blessing. Whoa. You say v'aziknehem or you don't say v'aziknehem? Well, according to the Maharsha, you say v'aziknehem. You just say zikenim. And so we have another proof from them that at least the Maharsha said v'aziknehem or v'aziknei amecha bet Yisrael, because the Ashkenazi dude, I think, says v'aziknei amecha bet Yisrael in their Sidur. In the Mahazot Vitri, it says the following text: "Ve'aziknei amicha bet Yisrael," and I think that's what Ashkenazim use today. And also in the Sidur Rabbeinu Shlomo Germezia, from one of the rabbis of Rashi, and also in the Sefer Rokeach, and he explains Shehem hazikenim hahagonim have'atovim beYisrael. We're talking about the good, really special rabbis. was the rabbi of the Ramban, Nachmanides, and he says, "Sheyesh lomar ve'az ziknei amecha bet Yisrael." Ramban was Sfaradi, and still they say, "Ve'az ziknei amecha bet Yisrael." Therefore, he says you should pray on the elders, the people who are old, literally. Azot, it says in the Midrash, Azot itparel kol hasid elecha le'et metzot. So it says in the pasuk, every hasid should pray in the proper time. The time is found. Amar b'Abba le'et metzot el yemei hazekena. It's talking about old age. You have to pray.
Yeah, well, Zikna is 60.
Yeah, zikna is chokhmah, right? Yeah, it's not right. So yeah, so it's not old age because yemei shenatenu shivim shana. Yeah, exactly.
60 there for the old age.
It's David HaMelech. Yemei shenatenu shivim shana. Yeah, normal life is 70. Okay. You have to pray for when you get older, says the Midrash. You should pray, please Hashem, when I get older, that I should be able to see well. My mouth can eat. I can walk, my feet work, my legs work. Because as we see, when a person gets older, slowly but surely, it can go away from him. So therefore, we should pray for the Zekenim, but also when I'm a Zaken, I want to have a good life when I'm a Zaken. B'ezat Hashem. Also, we say in the Midrash, Amar Rabbi Akiva, Nimshilu Yisrael le'of. We are compared to a bird, as Yonati Tamati, we're a dove. Maha of hazeh eno porech belo kenafayim. Just like a bird needs wings to fly, Kach Yisrael enam yecholim la'asot dabar chutz min ziknehem. We can't do anything without our elders, our rabbis, our older leaders. We see that Hashem honors the elders. It seems when we say zekenim, elders, wise people here, who are we talking about? Him dayanim, judges, b'hachamim, and the wise rabbis, gedulim shebe Israel, the greats, shebil adam in ha'olam mitkayem. Without them, the world would never survive. Okay, and so we see from here a lot of Midrashim and the Maharsha and the Yerushalmi that you should say the words ve'aziknehim or ve'aziknehel in the Ashkenaz Amidah. Allah hatzadikim ve'al hasidim ve'al she'erit amecha bet Israel. What's the next words? You remember by heart? You say ve'al ziknei amecha bet Israel. Ve'al ziknei amcha beis Yisrael. Yeah, that she says. I haven't used that Ashkenaz in a long time. Okay. I don't know if it sounds great. And it says the Ya'abetz, the Rabbi Ya'abetz in his Sidur, V'al ziknei amecha bet Israel is the ziknei Torah. It's the Hachamim. It's not only old people, like we said, it's Talmidei Hachamim. And so too is proven from the Pasuk that is brought in Megillah, V'hadata penei zaken, you should honor the face of the elder. And right after that, it says you should, if you have a ger, you have to have kavod for the ger. Hainu zaken shekana hofma. Okay. I'm going to skip a couple of lines. Thank you. Allah hatzadikim ve'ala hasidim ve'al ziknei she'erit amecha bet Israel. There's no such part. Interesting. They mix the two. Allah hatzadikim ve'ala hasidim ve'al she'erit amecha bet Israel ve'al ziknehem. They do ve'al ziknei she'erit amecha bet Israel. Interesting. They combine the two things together, but the word's in there. Okay, let's skip a little bit. Thank you, Alan. Okay. Who is the She'erit Amecha Bet Israel? Who is the remainder of the Bet Israel? Elu Ba'alet Teshuvah. When we say She'erit Amecha Bet Israel, the rest, because Ve'alena, as Ro'i said, Alenu is us. So who's She'erit Amecha Bet Israel? It's the Ba'alet Teshuvah. We're blessing Ba'al Teshuvah. Why? She'osim Atzmam Kishirayim. Because they make themselves like nothing. When someone who does true Teshuvah, he doesn't have Ga'ava. Sometimes you have Ba'alet Teshuvah. They have more Ga'ava than the rest. That's not Ba'al Teshuvah. That's not genuine. A real Ba'al Teshuvah has Anava. He's like, he feels so low compared to what he did in his life. Yeah, that too. But so they're not there yet. They have still have a way to go. That's not. Sometimes you have Ba'al Teshuvah who's preaching to everybody else. It doesn't make, you can't be Ba'al Teshuvah like that. Ba'al Teshuvah is someone who's humble. They make themselves like shirayim, like leftovers. A true Ba'al Teshuvah, that's the way they act. להתנהג בערבה, בשפלות רוח, לתיקון עוונותיהם. They remember what they did, and they act low. That's שארית עמך בית ישראל. We're not blaming them. They're alenu. Yeah. And so it's interesting. I don't know if you ever think about all the different groups in this peracha. Hatzadikim, hatzadikim, not the Hasidim now. Well, they could be blessed as well, the Hasidim. But hatzadikim, hasidim, she'erit amecha beit Yisrael ba'al teshuvah. If you say ba'al zeknehem, it's talking about the hachamim. Ve'al pelatat besofnehem, we'll talk about. Ve'alenu is on us, the rest of the people, from birth, as we say. Not ba'al teshuvah, not a ger, a regular Jew. It says over here that the Arizal had the word ve'aziknehem. Who is the pelatat besofnehem? The remnants of the schools. We're blessing the teachers. Pelatat besofnehem is the teachers in the schools. Maybe the teacher is not a big Talmid Hakam. He's not part of the hatzadikim or hasidim. He's just a school teacher. He needs to be blessed as well, or she needs to be blessed as well because they're teaching the kids, and so they're pelatat besofnehem. However, what the tzadikim? I don't know what the first category. I don't know if anybody's a tzaddik. I don't know. There's the wrong guy. If you look at the Rambam does have a siddur in his nusach, his text. Not an actual siddur in the back of his halakha. 200? Yeah, but if you read Tanya, for example, no one's a Sadiq. Halavai Benoni, the whole Tanya is basically Halavai Benoni. Sadiq is I don't know, I'm not a Sadiq, so I don't know. There are Sadiqim out there. Ulam, the Rambam, we look at the Rambam Sefer at the end, he doesn't have the words Al Ziknehem in his Siddur. He just goes Al Sadiqim, Al Hazadim, and he skips over the words Al Ziknehem. And he bases this on the same Siddur as Rav Amram Gaon, and the Siddur of Rav Saadia Gaon. Also, no Al Ziknehem in their Siddur. Also, Abi David Abu Darham, also, no Al Ziknehem in his text. Okay? And so let's skip a little bit just so we can finish. Okay. He doesn't say it. In the name of the Arizal, also they take it out. Al Ziknehem is gone from there. This is the opposite from what we just said before, that the Arizal did have Al Ziknehem. Sha'ar Kavanot, which is based on the Arizal, doesn't have Al Ziknehem. So it's a question what the Arizal said. If you look at the Sefer Siyach Yitzhak, he says from the words of the Arizal, in his opinion, Kabbalistically, you shouldn't say these words. And the Lokech says you should say, okay. Now, there's an interesting piece here where he brings, I'm going to skip a few lines. You can look this up later if you want. It's book 5, Halakha 9. There's an interesting piece here where he says, here. He says here, the Orhot Haim and the Kobo write, Sheyesh bibirkat ala sadikim mem bet tevot. There's exactly 42 letters, words in the ala sadikim prayer. Keneged mem bet otiyot sheyesh bepasuk va'abarecha mebarecheka. And there's also 42 letters in the pasuk Hashem told Abraham that I will bless those who bless you. And so we want to have exactly like that pasuk. We're going to bless all these people. We want to have the guarantee from Hashem that we'll be blessed. And so we want to match 42 words for the 42 letters of the thing. I think it's also 42. Yeah. In addition, the whole alphabet is in this beracha, ala tzadikim. Why? Because the tzaddik does everything from aleph to tav. Okay, so therefore what? Says Rabbi David Amar, Dak be'eshkach, check and you'll find, Shebechol hanushaot shel ha'asifaradim, any text of a Sephardi Sidur, יש הרבה יותר מ-42 תיבות. There's more than 42 words in the Al hatzadikim. We're breaking the 42 word rule. ולא משכחת לה אלא כפי הנוסח שבסידורי האשכנזים. You'll only get the 42 words if you follow the Ashkenaz text, which is Al hatzadikim ve'al hasidim ve'al ziknei amecha bet Yisrael. Not your text, maybe the Nusach Ashkenaz text. Ve'al ziknei amecha bet Yisrael. Ve'al pilatat sofnehem, without the word bet. Ve'al pilatat sofnehem. Ve'al gerei hasedek ve'alenu yehemu rachamecha. Not yehemu na rachamecha. Yehemu rachamecha. If you follow the exact Ashkenaz text, Baruch Hashem, you have 42. And so we don't follow it. And so writes the Pri Megadim, נמצא שלפי נוסח הארוחות חיים והכל בו והטור, צריך לומר ועל זקנם, וכפת ישראל. והוא הדין לפי נוסחאות שלנו, יש להוסיף ועל זקניהם. He says, I want to add another point here, he says, you said just now that the whole alphabet should be in the beracha al hatzadikim al hasidim. If you don't have the word ve'al ziknehem, there is no zayin. So how could they say there's an alphabet in the whole beracha without a zayin? Ziknehem is the only word that has a zayin. He said, I didn't check, in the whole beracha al hatzadikim. And so therefore, you should have the zayin in there for ziknehem. Ve'rak im hanusach hu ve'al ziknehem, you have it, or al ziknei amicha, then you have that zayin. And this is from a rabbi, Rabbi Netanel Bar Yitzhak, from an old Yemenite rabbi. He says this. It's not good what a lot of publishers did in the Sidurim. All these new publishers, they took out the words al ziknehem from this beracha. They're not honoring the zikanim when they take this out. And therefore, we should resume what we used to have the right way. We have to say in the beracha. That you should also add back into the sidur now I see, says the Chavadia, now he's writing this, I don't know, 20, 30 years ago. Now I see that the Sidurim they're printing now, they're bringing back the words, Al Ziknehem. For example, the Sidurim, Rinat Israel, Imre Fi, V'chazeh Ra'ah V'kadesh, and all other new publications, they're bringing it back. The summary is, B'tfilah Shemona Esrek, B'bechat Al hatzadikim, Sarich Lehosif, you have to add V'al Ziknehem, to bless the Zikanim. Lefi Nusach HaSeparadim, V'edut HaMizrach. Well, Lefi Nusach Ashkenaz, if you're Ashkenazi, Sarich Lomar V'al Ziknehem, B'chabet Yisrael. But either way, we should be blessing the Zikanim as one of the main categories. So this blessing should not be in parentheses. These words should be in.
So, but our definition of Zikanim,
elders, is also Hakamim.
And just physically.
Yeah, but it's really means Chochma, Hakam. And that's halakha. So we should say according to him. So I'm sorry if you said minim and you